Now, next one I'm going to talk about is textures.com. So, textures.com is another website very similar to being able to use Polyhaven, but the difference is that you have to pay for these assets. So, the question a lot of people ask is why would I pay for it? Because I mean, there are some free content on here. You want to be able to get free assets. There are some cool free assets on here. But let's say that you really want to be able to, get a very, very specific one that you can't find on Polyhaven. That's when it comes into using textures.com. So let's say, for example, that you're like, you know what, I need to have something that's a sci-fi asset for a wall because I'm going to recreate, something out of Star Trek, for example. You could come in here and if you look at it, these textures, I mean, there's tons and tons and tons and tons of textures. But let's say that I really like this one. Okay, I love this pattern. I like it. I could come in here and I could actually go in and buy it. So it allows you to get the material files that are these. So like you'll see a difference. There's material and then there's source file. Source file allows you to be able to change and edit it. Material file, you basically are just going to be able to drop it and use it as a material. Okay. So if you wanted to be able to go in and buy it, you can purchase credits. So the way that the credits work is you'll see like if you want to be a starter, okay, for a monthly plan, it's 13 bucks a month. You get 1,000 credits per month. Okay, now let's go back and look. 1,000 credits per month. This one object that I would want to buy is 100 credits. So for 13 bucks, I'm going to get 13 of these type of files. Now, that's not that bad because you have to figure you're basically paying a dollar for each one of these files. So it's not too bad when you put it in perspective, especially if you need something for a project. What's $13, right? So, use it project based. I wouldn't come on here and spend a bunch of money and buy a bunch of textures, but if you want to have something like, look at this texture, it's a texture of a board. Like you could use it for a motherboard of a computer or just any sort of electrical board. Like that's not something you're going to find free. That's something you're going to have to pay for, and it's very specific. Okay. Same thing with some of the HDRIs. Like the HDRIs are on here. I personally would still probably use Polyhaven for most HDRIs. But this gives you so many variations to the same HDRIs that maybe you need something very specific and it might be worth you coming on here and being able to get a sky to match for whatever set you're doing. And you'll see here, based on the size of what you need, is different prices. So you want to have a 4K, background on it as opposed to the 8 or 16, a 4K. It's only 25 credits. Okay? So 25 credits isn't too bad. Now, you're only allowed to get it, it says, if you have the pro tier. So this one is one that you wouldn't be able to get unless you had the pro tier, but they have ones that are for different. So that's something that's really cool. And the textures, like I said, the amount of textures are on here. There's more on here than there is on Polyhaven. And some of them I would consider to be a little bit more elaborate. So you can definitely get some really high end. Like if you look at these, like they're pretty insane. Like it's nuts when you really think about it. But my overall feel for it is that I would highly, highly recommend, use this sparingly. Use it when you need it. But it's a website you absolutely need to be aware of because when you start getting into the higher end projects and need very, very specific materials, this is the one that you're going to want to use. Okay. So, and like I said, it has things from plastic bottles, anything. So, that being said, hopefully that helps you a little bit, gives you an understanding about how it works. And I hope you enjoy Blender and good luck.